Hi, it's Eagle Scout Dad and Valk. We're here to show you a good way to fold tents, or how to fold tents, especially if you don't know exactly how. Like you didn't pay attention when you unpackaged the tent and it was everywhere. We have here a tent from Rainbow's Scout Troop, and it was folded badly and it did not fit in this stuff sack at all. Things were flopping out everywhere. So I'm going to set down this camera and we're going to just kind of gear it up here and kind of show you how you can figure out how to really fit a tent into a stuff sack when you didn't see how it came out of it to begin with. So the first thing you're going to do is square up the tent. So you're going to find the corners, and here's where Valk's going to help me out. I'm going to grab these corners. He's pulling, I'm pulling. No, we're pulling. Here, you pull. Yeah, we're pulling. Just get it all out. Now we're going to go to opposite corners. Do the same kind of thing. We're trying to square it out. It's kind of a square tent, so we're squaring it out. Okay. When you drop the tent, it's best to try and drop it in a fashion where you take the top of the tent, and I like to kind of pull it back and forth a little bit, because some of these tents have this this mesh bottom, this ripstop nylon bottom that actually comes up part of the side of the tent, and that can be kind of goofy. So, Valk, if you want to grab that corner, we're just going to kind of pull these corners, and then we're going to kind of pull that tent back in. And that squares up the bottom of the tent. So we're going to do that. You just stay on that corner. Alrighty. I'm going to pull this side. You pull that side. So we're pulling it tight. And again, I'm just kind of pulling so that we kind of square that up real nice. Now if you'd come to that corner, and do the same thing, kind of pulling so it's tight. And then I'm just kind of pulling fabric into the middle. And one last side, if you'd be so kind as to grab that corner while I scoot to this one. Pull a little. Alright. And again, kind of pulling everything to the middle. Then go ahead and get in the middle and kind of drape it back and forth a little bit. Just kind of get everything folded in a little bit. Okay, now you've got the squared out edges of that tent, and you can see the footprint of it. The next thing you're going to do, and this is vital if you didn't see how this tent got folded. Okay, the door is here. So we're going to fold the long way from front to back. So this is the front to back. We're going to fold the sides in. You're going to take that stuff sack and you're going to measure how many stuff sacks wide the tent is. 1, 2.
Oh, good.
Not quite 3. So this tells me that this tent, it needs more than 2 folds. 2 folds would fold it in thirds. We're going to need to go quarters because it doesn't quite reach. So if we fold in 2 folds and fold in thirds, it'll be too long for this, and that's how we figure that out. You take your stuff sack, you measure that width. So we're going to fold either in half and in half again, or better yet, fold to center, fold to center, and then over. So we're going to grab roughly the center, fold over to it, and we're just going to kind of shake it, get it nice. Now I'm going to grab that other side, fold over to the center, shake kind of nice.
Wow.
Now we're folding over one more time. Now if this has worked, this width should be less than the stuff sack. Bingo. Stuff sack's about maybe 1.5 to 2 inches either side of this. So that means that as it puffs out, it'll be fine.
Before you start rolling, you kind of want to make sure the air's out too. So
yep.
You might just want to go over it like this.
And notice he's starting at the back of the tent, working towards the front where that door opening was. It's just there's more opportunity for that air to come out of that tent in that area. The next thing we're going to tackle is the fly. Flies are notoriously difficult to fold because they're usually never square. So what I like to do is take that fly, figure out where its center is. And in this case, this one has a zipper right down the center in the front of that, in front of where that tent was going to be. So that's the center. Okay. So we're gonna kind of flop this out. That's the center. And in the back, it looks like there's a little window for ventilation from the back of the tent. So I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna find that center there. Valk is gonna come here and he's gonna grab as close to as he can to the center of roughly where that's gonna be. And we're just gonna kind of pull it out of the center, okay? So he's gonna pull back until he gets a little farther, okay? Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna come, I'm gonna use the folded tent as a platform to set this on. So we're gonna come this way, we're gonna come up, flip it around, and come down. Oh, we did a little too fast, it got a little mushy. So here we go, we're gonna do it once this way, come over far enough. We're just gonna bring it right down there. We're gonna line that edge of the fly up with that edge of the tent. Now, because we kind of did that little flippy bit, the fabric will kind of come close to each other. And if we fold this over, we see that indeed it did. It's fairly matched up. So we're gonna take and fold this in. So, can you grab that? We're gonna fold it in once, and then kind of square it up, scoot it over a little bit, fold it in again, and now we're within the outer perimeters of our tent. Obviously, the fly is longer than the tent, so here's what we do. You start from the back, fold all the way, bring it all the way to the front, and fold it in half. Okay, then Valk's gonna take that middle section and go towards the back of the tent with it. That way, you're gonna roll it, and it'll roll the air out of the open end of the fly. Last thing to do, well, second to last, take your poles, put them in, start rolling. Valk's gonna help me do some rolling. As you're rolling, you can just kind of take that fly and make sure you're tucking it in so it stays nice and neat. I mean, if you want it to be neat, and I do. That's just kind of how I roll with my tenting and my camping equipment.
And to make your life way easier, try to roll it as tightly as you can so that it fits more, well...
That's the next challenge, right? Yes, if we have gotten the folds right, it should fit in here without too much wrangling. If I was wrong and it actually can fold in thirds, then it's going to be a little fat and it might not fit in here. But we'll see very soon because Valk's almost done with rolling it. He's taking time, he's kind of keeping it squared up, tucking the fly, making sure the air is flowing out of it. All right, moment of truth. How well did we do? We did fantastic. Valk, thank you. Thank you, everyone. I hope this teaches you how to roll up a tent, especially if you haven't seen the way it was unfolded. Until next time.